All right, so here it is, December 29th. It's appropriate to what I'm going to be talking about here, the fact that we just had Christmas. All right, so, boy, this video started out, there's a logical sequence to this, so track with me. It started out with, my last video said, if you want to look into Vedanta Hinduism, here's some books and here's a great Swami and all of his videos. Go look. Go find your path. Whatever that path is. So then I thought to myself, well, these are great books and I want to describe what they did for me. And then you can look at each of these 6 books and say, which one do I like? Go read it. But then, gosh darn it, the divisiveness and the dogma. Dogma has no place in the world as far as I'm concerned, but the divisiveness in our political world, I just had to speak out. And so in a funny way, I guess from my little world, this is my urging for solutions in that area. I was going to call this Can't We All Just Get Along from Rodney King? And that's great. What a great ideal. But yeah. So track with me that, here's some repetition. I think one of the greatest ideas I saw in Vedanta Hinduism was many paths to the same God, many paths to the same truth, same consciousness. And there's a word right there that has many, many different definitions. And what I'm really going to be getting down to is just this whole idea of basic truths, and from that sprout many different paths, and you need to find what works for you. And there's something very important I'm going to introduce near the end. This is only going to be about 6 or 7 minutes. I also put back up one of my videos, which actually had the most views, which was One God for All, How Can This Be? And it talked about how all these great religions tend to really work together and they sprout from the same truths. So I put that one back up. So, recently I had a dear friend said that she read the Bhagavad Gita and that communicated to her, the Bhagavad Gita being the Bible of Hinduism, basically, in India. And, but she tried to read the Bible and the words just kind of didn't quite fit. Same thing happened to me. I thought that was really interesting. But there's a commonality there beyond that. And that's what I want to introduce. And I guess I'm even challenging you to take a look at this one particular book. So let me just pull this up real quick. See if I can do this correctly. Well, there it is. This is the Sermon on the Mount according to Vedanta Hinduism. Yeah. Now, when I saw this, you have to understand, I have a lot of friends, Christians, great folks, great people, but I just couldn't connect with the words. I just couldn't. It didn't mean I had disagreement with it. I just couldn't connect with the words. But for whatever reason, I grabbed this book at the Vedanta bookstore, The Sermon on the Mount According to Vedanta. Now, this author, Swami Prabhavananda, is a disciple of the great Swami Sri Ramakrishna out of the late 1800s. Disciple. But he absolutely adored Christianity. This is really important. And he gave many, many lectures. I think he just passed away maybe 1970, 1980s. So he speaks in modern words, modern English. And he loved Christianity. And he took the Sermon on the Mount words and says, here's that. These great sayings. And even when I read it, I went, what? What is that? I don't get it. Or I don't get the importance. And then he said the same words exist over here in Vedanta, whether by Vivekananda or Ramakrishna or the great Krishna. And I went, I get it. And this miracle for me occurred in that I saw the commonality of the great truths of the great religions. That was important for me because I had to let go of ego and dogma. I had to let go of I'm right and you're wrong. Maybe I have more to go on that one, but that was a big, big point. And this book was a very easy read because it's in modern words, modern English, presented by an individual who loved Vedanta Hinduism but loved Christianity. And he took these different words and said it's all one. And I just think that's one of the greatest basic truths. I think it's a solution to divisiveness. I wish, yeah. So I just felt like I wanted to scream at the top of my lungs about kind of the state of our society economically and politically and all. But this is kind of how I do it, I guess. But you can get this at Amazon. It was maybe the fifth or sixth book I read, and it created profound changes. Yeah. So there you go. If you want, take a look at it.